Good evening, I'm the Game Tutor, and tonight we're going to be looking at Final Light the Prison, a brand new indie roguelike Metroidvania due out on July the 27th. Now the roguevania genre, as I like to call it, is had quite a surge in recent years, with Dead Cells really standing out as the stalwart of that particular genre. Now while Final Light the Prison doesn't knock this game out of the park, it's a very fun little game that I did enjoy my time with a lot. Now, the game is most similar to is the indie game Seraph, which you can check out in my review section if that interests you. Now, the story takes place in a dark and twisted prison created by an Illuminati style superpower to house anyone who rebelled against them. Most of these inmates died, and now the halls of the prisons are roamed by the sort of souls and bodies and ghouls of what remain. Now you must enter the prison and free, for want of a better term, the souls of the inmates trapped there. You play a mysterious character that can be best described as a plague doctor wearing Dracula's cape crossed with Baraka from Mortal Kombat. And the gameplay is a 2D action platformer, and the Metroidvania part of it, to be honest, is actually quite light. As you progress through the game, you pick up a number of other weapons as well as rose coins that can be used as currency for your next playthrough. Now there are sections of the game with a risk-reward factor that give you the chance to play for large quantities of coins while facing possible death and having to start all over again. What I particularly like about these challenges is that you can die a few times, yet you will only get to start at the beginning of the level. Now gameplay is as expected, if a little floaty, and combat does the job if it could be a little weightier. There's nothing standout here for what is quite a fairly low budget game, but it is engaging and it did keep me wanting to play. As well as enemies, there are also spikes, falling roof tiles, the like, and several other things waiting around the next corner ready to kill you. Some of these are well choreographed and others can sometimes be a bit cheap, but it's a mixed bag and it rarely feels completely unfair. Exploration is important but rarely key, as most levels are fairly linear and only occasionally venturing off the obvious path yields rewards, but these are usually more of the secondary weapons or the shield, which seems to be very powerful. Now, like most roguelike games, Final Light the Prison works on seeds that can be reused or started fresh each playthrough. This obviously prolongs lifespan, especially when fun and unusual seeds crop up online. One big gripe, however, is the loading times needed to generate and use each seed. This can sometimes take up to 90 seconds, which in 2018 is a really long time to wait. But once the seed is loaded, things are good to go. Now, one little issue I have got with the game that I did actually raise with the developers, and you would have seen a warning for this at the start of the video, is the game contains some very bright flashing strobe light effects. Now, I expect that this would be very, very dangerous for epileptics, and normally when you get strobe effects in games and TV, you normally get quite a strong warning, or they just simply don't include it at all. I did reach out to the developer, who promised they would consider changing this for a future update, and I do think that would be a good idea. All in all, I liked Final Light the Prison. Sure, it's not the absolute best example of the genre, and it is a little janky in places, but it's an engaging, fun little title in its own right that did make me want to keep playing. So check it out on July the 27th, or check out the giveaways of 3 free copies we are giving out before that on our website.